Hey everybody, you're watching Roll Hunter. I went to the bank and asked for a box of dimes. This is what they handed me. Normally, if I got this, I would refuse it. And I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel, Roll Hunter. When I want to do some coin roll hunting, I just go to my bank and I ask them for a box of coins, whichever denomination I'm looking for. Nickels, dimes, quarters, and they'll often go into the back and bring out a box. Now, I have told my tellers that I'm looking for customer wrapped rolls. Every once in a while, I'll get a box like this and I usually won't take it. And can you tell why? If you have a look, you'll see that this box is sealed and this tape on here is clearly marked Royal Canadian Mint. What that means is that this entire box of coins has come right from the mint. As a coin roll hunter, I'm usually looking for circulated coins, lots of variety, maybe I can find silver. What we're gonna find in this box is probably every single roll is going to be the same year and no variety, they'll all be brand new. Now that's not entirely bad. If I wanna hold on to a year, a roll of say 2023 or 2024, whatever the current year is, I might want a roll, but I certainly don't need 50 rolls. That is, unless there's some major variety that has been found, kind of like in US pennies where they found the 2023 Extra V penny. Everybody was looking to get their hands on a full box of 2023 pennies. But in this case, there's really nothing in here that is going to be interesting for me as a collector. We'll open this up and we'll have a look inside. But there are some exceptions to this. And that exception is in years and denominations where we have commemoratives. So loonies and toonies, for instance, there are low mint and colorized versions of coins that would be highly desirable. In those cases, one uncirculated loonie or toonie from a mint wrap roll is retailing right when they're issued for $4, $5, or $6. So if you're lucky enough to get your hands on those, that's great. But in dimes, we don't really have anything like that. In fact, there is a date on the top of this box here. It says 2024-10. I can't make out the rest. This suggests that these coins are all going to be 2024 uncirculated dimes. So I might want one, but we're going to open it up and confirm that. I've got my scissors here. We're going to basically cut open that seal for the first time. We're going to open this up. Now, mint wrapped coins often come in two forms. So oftentimes they're in wrappers like this one. This one happens to be a colorized roll of 2021 dime. That would be 1 year when it would have been pretty good to get a box of uncirculated coins. Sometimes they're in shrink-wrapped plastic rolls too. And I have an example of that somewhere, but I couldn't find it for this. And here we go. These are all going to look the same. You can see these are all bright and shiny. I can see King Charles III on here. I expect that what we're going to find is a full roll of 2024s. And that's exactly what we've got. So the question is, do I want to keep a roll of uncirculated 2024 dimes? That might be helpful if somewhere down the road somebody found a major variety, some kind of a die variety that was unknown and I'd want to take my chances. Or maybe I just want 50 really nice looking brand new dimes that are completely uncirculated. I think I probably will keep one roll. It's going to cost me $5 to do that, of course, so you'll want to judge for yourself. But like I said, typically when I find that mint tape, I just say no thank you. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep one roll, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one that has King Charles on one end and 2024 on the other end. That way certainly I want to keep one with a date, then it's easy for me to know what this is. But the rest of these are going to go back to the bank. I'm going to exchange this for another box, hopefully one that's circulated and one that gives me a chance at finding silver. And that's going to outweigh the potential value of anything that I might pull out of here. Okay, I am back with another box of dimes. This one is stamped Bank of, I think, Montreal, not the Royal Canadian Mint. And this box has certainly been around the block. It's got tape everywhere. It's held together with elastics. I'll get that up. And I did confirm, that this is customer wrapped rolls. We got one plastic roll and a bunch of assorted other ones. So hoping that this is going to give us a better shot at finding something interesting than one whole box of 2024s. Well, wouldn't you know it, a second coin in here, and it's going to be a 2024. I actually don't have one in my binder. I didn't want to open up a whole roll of these just to pull one out, but this one looks like a pretty good candidate. I'll just hold it carefully by the edge, and it looks to be really nice. So I'll set that one aside. I think I'm going to flip that one up and put it in my collection. We're in roll number 4, and there is a pretty nice looking 1989. You don't find them that nice very often. I'm going to set that one aside, absolutely. Roll number 8, there is a 2021 Blue Nose commemorative. It's got that doubled date. The one we want to find, though, in this year, besides the colorized one and the Blue Nose under sale, I quite like those, is this regular Blue Nose design with just the single date of 2021. That was not issued for circulation, only in sets, and it would be a really hard one to find. This one's beautiful. So I have to look very carefully because that single date, not intended for circulation coin, is going to have the same obverse, and the reverse is going to differ only very slightly. It means that anytime I get a new coin, I need to look very carefully to see if it's got that single date. So I'm going to flip every single one and check the dates and make sure I don't miss any. This is roll number 11, no interesting edges. So we're 10 rolls into this box and no US, no silver, no foreigns. I mean, really, it just looks like the status quo for a normal box of Canadian circulating dimes. We're looking for something special. I have been pulling out a whole bunch of really nice dimes from different years. There were a few rolls that had some that just looked like they'd come right from the mint. So I may not necessarily need them. I'll look them over really closely. I'm only going to keep the absolute best. If they look near perfect, I probably already have lots of these already, but just want to keep aside some really nice ones in case I do a trade with somebody to find some of these more recent years in really nice condition. Just having a few extras is not a bad idea. Roll number 12, and there is our first 2021 Blue Nose under sale, 100th year of the Blue Nose 2. That is a beautiful coin. Roll number 12, and there is our first foreign. It's going to be a US dime, nice and shiny. It's a 2011 out of Philadelphia. I always do an edge check when I pull out a roll, and we're going to have, well, not a silver one, I don't think, but a pretty mangled one right at the beginning of this roll. I'm not sure what that's going to be. A damaged coin for sure. And it's going to be a 2016, pretty awful condition. And I did see back here at least a couple of Blue Nose under sale, and we might have a few of them all in a row. So 4, I don't know what that means, if there's any sort of a collection dump in this roll. I don't see silver, but that's 4 finds for the board. So far we got 9 of them in the roll, but we've got here a 1968, and we want to check this one because this is a transition year. Some 1968s were minted in 50% silver, and they're not magnetic, and some are nickel, and the nickel is magnetic. So that one is nickel. Well, since we're talking dimes and since we're talking silver and we're talking sailboats, this might be a really good time to take a little break and take a look at a coin I just picked up. I just got this at the Ontario Numismatic Association's coin show on the weekend that just passed at the time of filming. And check this out. This is a sterling proof dime. It's 10 cents. So 0.925 silver. And that's what I paid for at $11. This is not a circulating coin. Of course, this was a special commemorative, and you can see that frosted finish on the obverse of Queen Elizabeth. Just beautiful. This coin here is commemorating the 500th anniversary of John Cabot's voyage and discovery of Newfoundland. So that was in 1497. So 500 years later, this coin was minted. And this boat that is on here is the Matthew. That was John Cabot's ship. And this is featured on another Canadian coin we just looked at in a recent video. And I'll just pull that up over here because I've got it handy. That's this silver dollar from 1949. This was, of course, commemorating Newfoundland joining Canada in joining Confederation. This is also featuring the Matthew, John Cabot's ship, that same event founding or discovering, so to speak, Newfoundland. So this is 80% silver. This coin here is 925 silver. Beautiful, beautiful coin. And really happy to get this into my collection. It's not actually a coin I was familiar with, but I love the design of the blue nose under sail coins. This is also Matthew in full sail. It's got a very similar kind of feel about it. So when I saw it, I thought, I'd like to add that to my collection here. A silver dime from 1997 featuring the Matthew, John Cabot's ship. All right, let's get back to dimes and see if we can find some silver in this box. And just a bit behind that, there is a 1973. It doesn't have a lot of luster, but it appears to be uncirculated. It doesn't really have any wear or very light wear. I'll set that aside. Roll 31 has already had 5 of these blue nose under sail, including this beautiful example right here. And just as I was looking past a nice shiny 2024 or two, I saw a hint of color, and we're going to get our first colorized dime in this hunt. It is that blue nose under sail from 2021. That is awesome. And it looks like we're going to get more of these. It looks like the end of the roll is going to be all those commemoratives. Well, we've only got 5 rolls to go, and we're looking for a silver miracle. I pulled out a bunch of bright and shinies. We do have a few finds, pretty sparse. That's the way the dimes go, though. But we got one color, we got a bunch of the blue nose under sail, and only one American, which is unusually low. But the thing about coin roll hunting is it only takes one roll and one coin to turn everything around. We got 5 rolls to go, 5 chances for glory. Well, that's it for the box here. I've got the last roll in my hands, edge scanning it here. I don't see any silver. We're going to get skunked in these 2 boxes. The first one we knew for sure wasn't going to have silver, but we were really hopeful that this second one might. That just wasn't the case. I'll finish with this one, and I'll come back with a wrap-up. Well, that hunt went by pretty quickly. We didn't really have a lot of finds. We only found 1 American dime in there. Very, very unusual. But we did get 19 of the 2021 Blue Nose Under Sail. That is probably my favorite Canadian dime. And we got one of the colorized ones, so all wasn't lost. Not only that, I did pick out a bunch of really nice, bright and shiny. We've got some 2024s there. One of those is going to go in my album, and I realized I haven't flipped up a 2023, and we got some gorgeous ones there. I picked out some other ones, 2022, 2021. That might be a 2009. I might have put them out of order, but there's a 10. You can see I've got a bunch of really nice ones that I found. I'm going to look really, really carefully at them and just make sure that they're near flawless if I'm going to keep any of them. We did get one from the 80s, that 89, and we got a 1973 that looks pretty good too, that I decided I would keep. And that's just the way that coin roll hunting goes. Sometimes you can get a great box with lots of cool finds, and sometimes you just get current coins with nothing interesting. That's just the way it is. And particularly with dimes, there is really less for us to look for. There are less errors and varieties. We're particularly looking for silver. And in that mint box, of course, I did decide to keep this one roll of 2024. And because I found some really, really nice ones here, I can leave this one intact. Just keep it as a roll and add something to my binder. So I want to thank you for sticking around and watching this particular video. I hope you enjoyed it anyhow. I always appreciate you guys watching my videos and seeing what I get alongside me here. Thank you so much for doing that this time. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, CAD Roll Hunter, click that button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.